Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to another weekly Sunday edition of the Muzzy Buzz Show. So, hold on here. Let me just make sure we're on the right mode. Okay, there we go. All right, make sure that we are back on the right mode there. Anyways, before we get started, remember that this episode is sponsored in part by Unlocking the Arabic Grammar, or Arabic Grammar Unlocked. It is a classical text, al-ajrumiyya, that is helping to break down the Arabic grammar. If you're struggling with that, be sure to check that out down in the description down below. And then also, if you want to become a member on Patreon or on YouTube, make sure you check out that stuff down below. And then also check out the merchandise. All right, so with all that stuff out of the way, we will go ahead and get everything started. All right, we have some people already joining in. Jazakumullah khair, everybody. Jazakallah khair. Too many usernames taken. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, Mukit. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We're good. All right, Arsalan. Welcome. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, I try to change up the colors every now and then, just because the lights are changeable and stuff, so I try to do that. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're just going to let everybody pile in today in this Sunday before we get started, because a lot of exciting stuff, man. I mean, we got the elections coming up in 2 days, tomorrow, and then Sunday will be the election day. So, Tuesday, will be the election night. I think me and the Madman Luke's brothers are going to be going live on Tuesday with the election details, just doing live commentary. There's a brother from Kuwait, I believe, who's going to be looking to join in too. I think it's Muslim Responses or Muslim something. I have to find out. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maliki Click. هلا والله يا ابي يمن وش علومك يعني. welcome to the show. عبدي عبد الله, welcome to the show. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. انزل جماعة, welcome to the show. عليكم السلام. Secret of Truth, عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Who did you think is going to win? Donald Trump. Abu Ivanka is going to win the election. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to pull it off somehow. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, Princess Rashida. Allah yahayyik ya Maliki Click. Welcome. So we have a lot of stuff going on this week. It's going to be a fun week. Exciting. So pay attention. I think the world is holding their breath to see what happens with the election. It is Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Plus, also, we have to talk about what's happening in France. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have to talk about what's happening in France and the double standard in France as well, too. And then today was the day that Tommy Robinson decided to come out of his shell, for those of you in the UK, and come out to Speaker's Corner. And boy, oh boy, did we have a surprise when Tommy Robinson ended up coming out to Speaker's Corner. The little rat ended up coming out, and it wasn't that good. So let's provide some background. I think a lot of you brothers are out in the UK. Some of you are not in the UK. But so there's a woman named Hatun Tash, who we call Hatun Trash. And she basically mocks all the Muslims, right? She pulls out this Quran and she says, oh, she puts holes in them. She does weird crafts with them or whatever. And she goes, oh, your Quran has holes in narrative. Your Muhammad has holes in narrative in the Quran. She's just really stupid, weird Turkish, Turkic Persian accent. Just very strange. Sounds like nails, scratching against the chalkboard. Just, and basically what happened is the other day she got smacked. Okay. Someone smacked her in the face. Glasses fell off. Apparently she went unconscious. They said it was a Muslim, but come to find out it's actually a Christian guy, a Christian Arab guy. And he goes, I am a Christian. And on the way out of the park, and he slapped her. And Hatun Trash made a video, and her cronies, including Dovid19, that she was assaulted. And then obviously Islam critiqued, or whatever it is, he comes out and he's like, yo, we need to, buy her new glasses, whatever. And they raise $10,000 for this trashy woman's glasses, right? $10,000 for glasses when they could be, quote, feeding people in Africa and blah, 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 whatever it may be, right? Instead of that, they did this, whatever. Fine, story done. The Christian guy did it. They blamed the Muslims, but it wasn't the Muslim, it was the Christian guy that slapped her. Okay, no problem. So Tommy Robinson, wanting to be relevant, comes out from the UK and says, you know what, I'm going to go down, and she's so brave. She's confronting all these people, even though it wasn't the Muslim that slapped her. It was another fellow Christian that slapped her, as a Christian Arab guy who slapped her. He says he's going to make his appearance down at Speaker's Corner. He says, you know what, I want to give her roses, and I want to give her chocolate because I admire her. I don't know what he was trying to do, some kind of stunt he was doing. Anyways, so he, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Tommy Robinson has some own legal troubles of his own. He's not allowed to assemble and create protests anymore. Something with hate speech, and then there's COVID restrictions, and plus word has it in the streets, I don't know, allegedly, that he has a cocaine problem. He's been doing drugs, and that, he's been doing lines, and people have been asking him in the park, when he came there, how many lines he did before he came into the park. Allah Alam, God knows exactly if he has a drug problem or not. I don't know, but it certainly does look like it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there are rumors. I don't know. I can't say for sure or not. But Tommy Robinson does claim to be a Christian, I believe. At least I think culturally a Christian. He believes the UK is culturally Christian, I believe. I could be wrong. Let me get a drink of water here. Bismillah. All right. So he claims to be culturally a Christian. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi barakatuh. Welcome, everyone. Sorry if I'm missing your guys' salams. I'm just trying to do multiple things here. So how about this? Let us go ahead and take a look here at the video. Let's bring it in. Let's take a look at what happens here. All right. The audio should be working. By the way, this sister, Zubaydah Al-Arabiya, she had a stream on that was early on, and she was there early in the park, I remember. And I was like, wow, this chick is brave, mashallah. She's out there. And she was there, and she was doing the whole stream everywhere. But anyways, let's play this. This is the moment that Tommy was getting escorted outside. Not escorted, he was trying to leave the park because they couldn't get a word in. People were mocking him and clowning him. Nobody told him to leave. I mean, it was just like, whatever, they were mocking him or whatever it was. But anyways, so this is the moment where he's about to leave, and something happens. And we'll play it real quickly.
خلينا هنا stay come on. ليش مسكوا ليش Tommy getting arrested, mashallah, guys. Mashallah, Allahu Akbar. Mashallah, Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, mashallah, Allahu Akbar. He's getting arrested. Mashallah. 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 Allahu Akbar. Mashallah. Mashallah, mashallah. Mashallah. Keep going. This is what happened to who disrespect the Prophet. This is what happened to whoever disrespects the Prophet. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Tommy is getting arrested.
So,
Big.
so this is what happens. Essentially, what happens is Tommy Robinson gets arrested. And it's funny, it's hilarious because they're like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He got arrested. I just found it funny because this same brother was the guy that was walking around the park and he was right in Tommy's face. And actually, Tommy had talked to him before. He's asking, he's like, hey, Tommy, how many lines did you do earlier today? And Tommy started getting embarrassed and they locked eyes for a minute and Tommy was getting a little anxious. And I think that's what made him leave the park. But anyways, it's a good thing. Apparently he wanted to give roses and flowers to Hatun and Tash. That didn't end up very well. I think I think roses and chocolate. I think she ended up only getting chocolates. Not sure exactly, but didn't really work out well for him. They wanted to have a little romantic date, I guess, or some kind of gesture that would have happened. And it didn't work. Their romantic encounter ended up with Tommy in handcuffs and Hatun Trash walking off sad. Nobody willing to talk to her anymore. And this was the funniest part. Yeah, that was the funniest thing. When Tommy was being dragged out of the park, the last things that he heard were Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. I mean, he heard all of this stuff, you know? Exactly. And they were both squealing like pigs on the way out, right? They were both having, they were both squealing like animals on the way out of the park. And I think this is funny, right? Because first of all, Hatun uses the idea that she got, smashed by a Muslim guy, but ends up being a Christian guy. Then on top of that, Tommy comes out to give her roses and chocolates to milk the whole situation. And it ends up being that Tommy goes to jail, goes back to jail, and gets arrested, squealing like a pig. She walks off, humiliated. David Wood looks stupid for trying to make it sound like that Muslims did something to Hatun Trash. Stupid Islam Critique raises $10,000 for a woman that got smacked by her own Christian brother. I mean, you know what this reminds me of? يَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plan and plot and Allah plans and plots and Allah is the best of planners. They can do what they want to do. At the end of the day, they all get exposed. It's all pure. It's dumb. But anyways, let me see this. Princess Rashida says that Ijaz won't like this. He has had his eyes on Hatun since their meeting in the park. Poor thing. Yeah, I know exactly. That was very funny. I actually love when Ijaz shut her down. Brother Ijaz, the Trini, put her down. I mean, got her locked down very quickly in an argument. But anywho, why did you say Trump is going to win? Well, because I believe Trump is going to pull it off. I remember the polls always had Hillary Clinton winning too. And I believe that at the end of the day, I think Trump will pull it off somehow, some way. That's what I personally believe. I could be wrong. I'm no political analysis, but I'm not political analyst, but we'll see what happens on election night. It started off very strong for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and it just ended up very bad. Okay, anyways, his debate was absolutely brutal. She couldn't respond, and she even had help from that one other guy. There's, I think, an African guy that comes with her. I don't know his name, but he's always there trying to act, be the hype man, always trying to add his little 1-2-1-2 in there. I don't know what his job is the whole time. So here's the question: is Speaker's Corner actually kind of productive for Muslims? What are the qualifications? Or just entertaining? Well, I don't believe so. I believe that certain parts of Speaker's Corner can be kind of productive, but for the most part, there are very productive dialogues that happen. You can go look at EF Dawa, Hashim, and Mansour, and you can see that stuff over there. They do amazing work over there. But the park is so big, you're going to have different parts of the different characters that come in. I agree that Muslims should probably ignore, but I have no problem with the Muslims showing up for this, because they decided to stand up or come there to try to intimidate Muslims. And so just the mere presence of Muslims being there was enough to annoy them. And I think that's a good show of strength in numbers. No problem. They should never be outrun out of a park or made to feel intimidated. I think good discussions can happen and good dialogue can happen, as we've seen in the past. I would agree. I agree with that. Trump wins because of New York Post again. Maybe, could be, I don't know, Red Corps. It could be also because Joe Biden is not really on top of his game. He's displaying clear, and sometimes we can see it, maybe some dementia going on. He stumbles over his words sometimes, doesn't know whether he's running for, Senate or the presidency. It's just very strange. I don't know, I found another interesting poll too, that it's like 49% of Democrats believe that Joe Biden, if he wins, wouldn't make it to the end of his presidency. I don't know if that means he'd be incapacitated or if he would pass away. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's not very reassuring, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna plan to come when the COVID is done. I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna cause a riot. I like to get in people's. I have a loud voice, so I'm sure I'm gonna piss some people off, but no problem. Inshallah, I'm gonna be there. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Floating man, welcome. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure to have you. Alhamdulillah, we're doing well. Inshallah, you and your family are doing well too. Anyways, so we talked about Tommy in the park. Tommy is now spending time in jail. He was supposed to go home to his mother's house and enjoy some food, but now apparently he's going to be eating some dog food in jail. And that's a wrap for Tommy Robinson. But anyways, so next topic, we're going to talk about France and the double standard and other news in France. So first of all, we heard Macron, Emmanuel Little Rat Macron, talking about how his country's under attack, right? The problem is that they said there were 3 different incidences. There were 2 that were done allegedly by Muslims, but there was a 3rd one that was done by a right-wing group that targeted a Tunisian shopkeeper. And they didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about the rise of right-wing extremism in France and even in Western Europe in general. This also applies to the attack on 2 Muslim women who were wearing hijab by the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And I made a video about this in a separate issue, but one thing that France needs to address is that there's a clear double standard when it comes to policies for Muslims and non-Muslims. And until France addresses this issue, they're never going to have a solution for this. Another problem to address also is that when you don't provide minorities and migrants fair opportunity, you don't provide them the same education, the same economic opportunities, you're going to have a problem. You cannot bring them into your country and put them all the way out in the suburbs away from the city, create their own little, quote, ghettos, and then allow them to, and want them to integrate. It's nonsense. It's completely nonsense. By the way, if they want to talk about refugees and people coming there, well, they created that refugee crisis. Okay? They created that. There are years of colonialism in North Africa, in Algeria, Tunisia, and 1 million Algerians were killed. 1 million. 1 million Algerians were genocided. France was about to return 50,000 skulls of Algerians. 50,000. Can you imagine that? 50,000 skulls. Do you know how murderous you have to have 50,000 skulls in your possession? And these people want to preach to us about morality and civility and human rights and equality? No, sir. No, Mr. Macron. You ended up killing people. Your country is responsible for this. You created a devastated economy. You made these countries fall back to where they are. You made these people have resentment towards you. You created a refugee crisis. Not to mention your continual involvement. Fine, the colonial period is done, but you still actively and politically engage in countries around the Middle East, whether it be from Afghanistan to Iraq to Libya to Egypt, wherever you go, even Lebanon now getting involved. You are not keeping your hands off of the Arab lands, or specifically the North Africans. So no, we're not going to take you. We're not going to take your claims very serious. All right. You have wait. Why can't you backward people? Let me see what the. Why can't you backward people move forward and collect scholars like we? Yeah, exactly. This is my point. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, but here's the thing: the laws are stupid. I'm sorry. I don't know any other way to say this. The laws are dumb. First of all, you want to talk about, they want to embrace the ideas of freedom of speech. We are from the Enlightenment. We are from the days of Voltaire. We are radical secularists, right? We got rid of Christianity and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. We are religiously secular. That's their idea, right? And we don't give any preferential treatment to symbols and, figures and stuff. Okay. We embrace freedom of speech and we embrace freedom of expression, right? Okay, fine, fair enough. Then you tell me why someone criticizing, or not even criticizing, just denying the Holocaust is a crime in France. It's just freedom of speech. You tell me why someone or even speaking ill of the French flag is a crime. The flag is just a symbol. What's holy about that? Nothing. Nothing is holy about a flag. It is just a symbol. And that is part of the problem. You cannot have two different applications of the law. If you want to say somebody has the right to insult Sayyidina Muhammad or anyone, or Jesus or Moses or whatever, all these different people, whatever, Buddha, fine, okay, that's your law in your country. But don't tell us that you can't use the same freedom of speech to, even if you don't believe it, just to demonstrate freedom of speech, to insult the Holocaust or to insult the French flag. As a matter of fact, look at Macron. When President Erdogan of Turkey simply said you need to get a mental check done, you need to get a mental check, he became a baby. He became a complete baby. What did he do? He ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to call my ambassador. I'm going to censor the newspaper, and I'm going to issue a statement saying this is excessive and it is rude, and this is dangerous. Why would you say that? It's just freedom of speech, right? Why? Why would it be a problem, right? Apparently, they don't like freedom of speech when it applies to other people. That's the problem. And all of this is related. All of this is related to all this. Even Hatun Trash, Tommy Robinson, Emmanuel Macron, what's happening in China. All of this is related to their laws being challenged. Their laws work when it's homogenous, when it's all French Christian people or secular people, right? Not when there's other people who are different. The minute there's someone who's a little bit different than you comes into place, well, wait a minute. We need to reevaluate the application of these laws. You understand? This is the problem with them. And I believe the best way to counter all these people is to remind them of their double standard. You don't need to go out and kill nobody, hurt anybody, blow anything, nothing. Not even demonstrate in the streets. Just remind them. Continually demonstrate freedom of speech in the way that they don't like it. And that's the problem. Right? I think Muslims around the world should demonstrate why France is behaving the way they are. Right? I mean, that's just how I look at it. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but that's how I feel about France. I think Muslims need to really acknowledge and drive that point home. You know, there are 5 million Muslims in France. They will not be treated like second-class people. You have generational Muslims that are second and third generation Muslims in France. Right? They have paid taxes. They have been part of the system. They've done all that for years, for generations. They're not going to be treated. 9 million. I'm sorry. Thank you, Yusuf. 9 million French Muslims. Okay? That's an immense population. And I remind them that, France today, the way they behave, I'll give you an example. The way that Europe treated Jews in World War II, it was perfectly normal for a lot of Europe. But now in 2020, they're embarrassed. They're ashamed by the behavior they had. So I call on all the French people, right? Do not be a source of embarrassment. Do not be that person that when your descendants look back on France, 60 years from now, say, hey, my grandfather was a bigot. My grandfather was stupid. He was a total bigot. Don't be like that dumb idiot. Don't be like that stupid person in history. Like now we make fun of Nazis, right? We make fun of, fascist people, right? Don't be that stupid idiot. And this is a message to the French people. Don't be that idiot that is hypocritical. Come to terms with the fact that the laws that you thought were applicable for all times and that were, that were supposedly supposed to be enlightening are not, you don't like them when they don't apply to you or when they apply to others. Yes, I highlighted this. I do believe that it's one of the factors contributing to radicalism, but also that coupled with the fact that they intentionally try to flame the fire. They not only do they don't afford them the same opportunities, but on top of that, they allow the projecting of images onto a government or onto buildings in the street, and he stands by them and he encourages them. And he tries to say this is the embracement, and then he calls for a war on Islam. Right? So so he's just flaming the fire. That's what he's doing. And I'm sorry, if you want to tackle the problem, you're never going to be there. You're never going to be able to solve that problem. I don't believe you'll be able to do it without recognizing the underlying issues. Let me see here. There's a lot of comments. I'm sorry if I'm missing something. When Macron succeeds with his agenda, the politics will spread across Europe and will become just like America, open hatred for... Well, actually, I'll be honest, social stigmatist. I think America is still far better off than Europe is. We don't have like right-wing EDL pressed, things in the UK. We don't have we don't have a hijab ban in America. We don't have a niqab ban in America, right? We don't have right-wing groups like in Poland. I think in the media you guys think that America is some kind of huge racist place or whatever. It's not. Really, it's really not. There's hyperbole in the news, but trust me, Muslims have it a lot better in America than most places in the world. I'll tell you that right now. There's some language. Donald Trump is a buffoon, but in general, no. I would rather be in America than France, Poland, Germany. I would rather be here. There's a lot of right-wing radicals in these places, especially in Eastern Europe. My God, in Spain or even in now you have this wave of right-wing radicalism, like in even Bolsonaro, right? You know what I mean? Like there's certain things, it's just nuts. I don't know, Yeah, it depends on the states, but I've traveled down south too. And they're a little rough around the edges, but once they get to know you, they're okay. You know what I mean? Like they're not that bad with you. I've been down south. Sure, they can be racist, absolutely. But once you get to know them, they're really not, they're okay. You know what I mean? But I've experienced racism all over Eastern Europe, and I lived there. I lived there. It's a different kind of racism, right? It's a way different kind of racism. Like it's like they don't even want to they don't even want to acknowledge you kind of racism. Like it's just way different to me. But again, like I said, it depends, right? There's racists in every country. There's places where there's hostility, yes, no doubt. But in general, America, you have the right. They're not going to ban your hijab. They're not going to ban your niqab. They're not going to, close down your mosque. They're not going to, restrict how many schools you can have open for right now. right? That could all change, but like I said, I know in Europe they have a lot more. Wait, have you guys heard the shooter of the church in France was actually another Orthodox? Are you serious? I haven't heard that. I heard that the plot would thicken if that's the case. But I did hear that in Lyon, that other guy over there was a right-wing radical kid that was attacking a Tunisian shopkeeper, and they decided not to change, not to highlight that person. They didn't even announce his name yet, his background. So wait, only in America do you get maggots become at 2 a.m. in Chicago, winter to put up those noose around the necks and the poor people. You mean with Jesse Smollett, whatever his name is? Yeah, ends up being a hoax, I mean, yeah, we have our nutbags here, no doubt. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but for the most part, I think America's been pretty good. I mean, yeah, we have some buffoons that run the office, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think I've been in parts of it. I mean, look what's happening in Brazil right now. Bolsonaro, and then you have people like, in Poland, you have people like Le Pen in France, and even to a certain degree, even in in the UK, you have certain right-wing radicals that want to come to power, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, justice for Juicy. There you go. But one thing. Sorry, someone put this out there about Russia. Real very quickly. Let me just highlight this comment. I was gonna study in. Who put that out there? Yeah, this guy. Secret of Truth. I was going to study in Russia, but now I changed my mind. One thing I appreciate about Russia. They said they would not allow anti-Islamic media in Russia. Now, of course, I'm not going to say there's some absolute friends of the Muslims and whatnot, but I can appreciate that, and I think that that is commendable by them. I mean that they understand that if you attack one religion, you're going to allow the attack on all religion, right? And Russia tends to be a little bit more. I think they have this dream of becoming this Neo-Byzantine empire. I could be wrong. But I think that they should have a Neo-Byzantine empire. Yeah, maybe I will, Rizwan. I may bring him on, but again, like I've known him from before, Rizwan, so maybe I will. But right now, I just don't. I mean, I don't have the time exactly right now. But I'm working on it, right? I just need to figure out what I need to talk to him about, right? I just don't like to bring people on the show because I just bring them on, right? I have to have a subject to talk to him about. You know what I mean? So I will, inshallah, I'll get him on. But I mean, eventually, when I have time to do it, and like when I have a good topic to bring him on for, I'll bring him on. Inshallah, I have them on my list of things to do, or people to get. Yeah, well, that's another thing too. I mean, to be honest, Andalusian Project, they had a long history with dealing with the Chechens and the Dagestanis. And now, granted, Russia could, muscle them over, but they know that, that they're fighters to the end, and they're not going to give up. The Avars are people that were very, very, very proud people, and they knew that it's better to work with them than to work against them. So what they're doing is, Kadyrov is now basically someone who is taking money from Putin, basically to keep everything, to do the dirty work, right? To keep everybody in line, because he's like the guy that is going to make sure that the other Muslims in the area are good. Yeah, exactly. Essentially, that's what it is, floating man. They give him a bunch of money. I mean, Grozny is a beautiful city now. I don't mind visiting it. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen Grozny. Oh my God. Like, I mean, it's like the new Grozny after, they rebuilt it. It looks like Dubai. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you guys seen? I mean, maybe we could take a look at let's take a look at Grozny for a moment and see. Apparently they have like one of the largest mosque in Grozny. Yeah, I mean, here, I think this is the video. Let me just put up here. Yeah, but Kadyrov is a funny character though, man. He is a funny character because he parades himself around. Hold on here. Let me just put this out here. Sorry. Okay, let's see if I can share the screen. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. So apparently this is Grozny now. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. Yeah, so this is like Grozny in 2017. So apparently like they have this new entire city here that's just like completely rebuilt. And they have these large masajids and there was another video that I saw, but it was much better of a aerial view, but they have different structures like this. So yeah, I mean it's crazy how basically Kadyrov is getting money to basically essentially keep everybody else in line, to make sure that nobody rebels. There's no Islamic movements that will come out and rebel against the Russian government and so forth and so on. But I mean, again, I'm not going to criticize everything. I mean, if they can work something out where they can maintain their autonomy and they can be practicing Muslims in some way, hey, let them do what they got to do. I guess in some degree. I'm going to say that. I believe that might even be a picture, a thing of Imam Shamil. They have, the Russians have a huge respect for even Imam Shamil. Even the Russian czars that fought against him, they had a lot of respect, immense respect for Imam Shamil, because he was a strong, even though a strong opposition to them, but they respected his nobility and his courage. And so, they still teach him in military history books to teach, because I think he was an expert in military guerrilla warfare. Anyways, with that being said, we're done talking about Grozny for a minute. But just to give you an idea, I mean, I would love to visit it, to be honest. I would love to visit Grozny and see the people. All right, thank you, Jazakallah khair, Princess Rashida. We appreciate you coming in to the show, and we'll catch you next time, inshallah. Appreciate you stopping by. Anyways, so that is what is happening now, and all this is tied in France, by the way. And by the way, I think France is also very annoyed with Erdogan, because Erdogan is going to call for boycotts. I don't know if you know this or not, but even the UAE kind of jumped on board and canceled a $1.4 billion arms deal with France, and that's gotta hurt, right? I mean, it was a little while ago that I believe France was trying to take money from Gaddafi for a little while as well too. I don't know. It could have been that, but I don't know. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imam Murrah, the one and only. Good to have you. Always a pleasure. Good to have you here. But let me see some of the comments. Let me go up. Abdul Ghani, yeah, Russia was wise to avoid war within their borders. Well, yeah, I mean, let's talk. I mean, we're getting a little bit off topic here, but we'll talk about this for a second. Understand something, that Russia is trying to expand its influence around the world. And if it has to deal with internal strife, it's not healthy for its expansion. And their expansion means into Syria and in the Middle East. Right now, the reason why they got involved in Syria is because they have a strategic interest. They have the base, the naval base in Tartus, which is what they wanted to bolster. And now they have air bases, and also they've developed defense rebuilding contracts for rebuilding the country, along with Iran. But this is also to get a foothold in the Middle East, to also increase trade between the Middle East and oil revenue and incubators, and the same way they do this stuff with Israel, right? They also, China and Russia compete for these kinds of environments so they can expand territory, expand influence, and create extra income by actually the private companies, the private sector, when they rebuild these war-torn areas or just build highways or bridges, they make money. It's all related. So Russia was trying to do that because Russia has goals. The problem is their economy is largely hindered because a lot of people don't trust them, right? And they depend a lot on other economies like Turkey. Right? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, headshot specialist. So again, this is why Russia has been trying to, they decided, we need to stop the internal fighting. We need to find a way to make everybody in Russia see kind of, get on the same page, and so we can collectively advance towards, building the country. And so that's why they don't want to start and provoke a war with the Muslims inside of Russia. But there are those inside of Russia that believe that Russia is striving to be the Neo-Byzantine Empire. They're trying to, basically bring back orthodoxy in Russia. But I think that's a long shit. It's a long shot. That's like saying that Saudi Arabia is is going to bringing back the Khilafah, right? No one really believes that the Al Saudi is going to do that, at least not immediately, or we can't see anything like that. Let me see this. Being an Islamic leader is a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation. They literally can't be. Yes, I agree. It's a very tough situation. I would never want to be a leader of a country. There are too many issues that happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I can't say I'd want to be one. But anyways, so we did talk about Tommy getting, kicked out and Hatun getting let down. I don't know if you guys have any more comments about that. We did talk about France. We talked about how Macron is a little rat, and the French have double standards. I think we already highlighted that. Is there anything else I need to cover? Remember, I want to talk about the elections, but I think that I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday. We're going to be going live in the studio with the Mad Mamluks, so we'll be doing that in the studio, and then we'll talk about that. Oh yes, Pakistan did also. Good thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. Imran Khan also stood strongly against what Macron did, and he said, "You know what? You can criticize. You can criticize without being without using the language that you did. You have to be wise." And I think Imran Khan was very wise in saying what he said about this. Thank you for pointing that out as well too, Arsalan. Yes, I appreciate what Imran Khan said about is that what we call him? Manu Macroni. Oh yeah, Manu's his nickname, right? That's what apparently he was signing off emails with Manu. Let's call him Manu. Yeah, Manu Macron. Yeah, absolutely. So that's true. You know what I mean? I think that, there are ways to say things. I don't think a single Muslim out here condones the killing of people over the cartoons. But to say that all Muslims need some kind of revision and Islam is in crisis, no, Mr. Manu Macron. I think your secularism is in a crisis when you have double standards and different applications of the law for different people. I think it is your secularism that is in crisis right now. If we're going to speak honestly. All right. Yeah, I heard about this too, Headshot. I heard they were shutting down NGOs. They were closing down masajids. They were shutting down the madrasas, the schools that were open. They were doing a whole lot of things. And this has been going on. This is a buildup. It's not like overnight this has been happening. This has been a general attitude of the French. And some people are saying, well, it's because there's an election time coming, and he wants to provide a challenge to Le Pen. But I don't buy that, because listen, politicians can say words, right? But he's changing from words to actual policies and action. Do you know that? You know what I mean? So it's different than actually just saying it to get elected. He's actually there are actionable things that we can see that are happening. So no, pardon me if I don't believe that it's because of the fact that that he wants to get elected. All right, take care. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, we'll see you later, Aisha, inshallah, my super member. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you later, inshallah. Stay safe. Yes, absolutely disgusting. Oh, by the way, I think we have a guy. Yes, I think you were in the live stream, right? The same live stream that I was in. Safi, right? The one that was, what was her name? Zubayda something. Zubayda Al-Arabiya, I think her name was. She was there. I think I was watching the same stream that you were in. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abdul Ghani Sigal, welcome. But anyways, yes, it was a crazy stream, and I think she did a good job, I wish, honestly, I was thinking about something. People like Tommy wouldn't last a day out in the States. You know why? I think in the States we have a little different of a policy. Like if you those kinds of things that you say and do, those are fighting words. Like, I mean, you don't get off the like, I don't know, like, we don't have this concept of speaker's corner where you can just get off running your mouth. It doesn't work that way here. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, someone's gonna do something. Like, I mean, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I noticed that. I mean, I'm not saying that they're less powerful or like, yeah, like they're weaker fighters. It's just a different culture, right? Like in America, you say something, it's like pop. You know, just, you know, that's it. They wouldn't even think twice. They just punch him right in his lip. You know, it wouldn't even get to a point where he has a following. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate Zubaydah, that sister, for being out there. I don't know too much about her. I don't want to, I mean, I don't know her the ins and out of her channel or anything. I literally just Googled, you know, Speaker's Corner November 1st, and her stream was live. So I just clicked on it. And I'm like, oh, wow, right in time. Tommy's getting arrested. It was perfect. I mean, I think it was Allah wanted me to see it. But anyways, I can't wait to get up in the UK. Inshallah, when lockdown is done, I'm gonna be coming up there. I'm gonna do London. I'm gonna go north to like Manchester, and then do the true north and go up to like Scotland. I'm gonna go around there and I'm gonna check it out. I wanna be in the park, but hopefully it's not gonna be one of those boring days. That would suck if I come all the way up from New York and like it's one of those boring days in the park. So I'm gonna put my dates just to make sure that when I come to the park, all the crazies come the same day. You know, there's this woman that bothers me too. Her name is Suzelle. She keeps telling me she's a prophetess, and she's in Speaker's Corner, and she's talking about a leaflet. She has some kind of sign on her right hand, and no one can see it. But she's always telling me that she's some kind of prophetess, commenting on my videos and stuff. I don't weirdo. Anyways, yeah, I'd love to be out there, and we're gonna check it out and see. But anyways, yeah, inshallah, we'll do. I'm gonna have a meetup. I'm gonna do 3 days in London, 3 days in like the north, like Manchester, Birmingham, whatever, and then 3 days in like Scotland. I think that might be too much time for Scotland, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Speaker's Corner. I want to come there. I want to spend a day there. I'm gonna do like, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Speaker's Corner. I'm gonna bring a megaphone and a Segway. I'm gonna be riding around the park with this megaphone, just yelling out stuff. You know, I mean, I hope I catch Jay Smith and Hatun Tash and, you know, some of these other people. Trump is not. Well, Trump is a politician. Trump doesn't really care. I don't really believe that Trump himself is racist. Trump cares about money. That's what Trump cares about. Trump cares about money, and he's a narcissist. He likes when people praise him, right? That's what he loves. He loves doing that. He's that kind of person. He likes to bask in like the limelight. Look at me, praise me. Look how great I am. Yeah, I've heard about Bob the Builder. I don't know too much about the guy. I mean, just the name kind of sounds weird to me. But Bob the Builder, sure, I'll talk to anybody. Bob the Builder, I don't mind. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, Al-Fadi, Jay Smith, bring them all. I mean, I hope they all come down. It doesn't bother me at all. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to get a megaphone. I'm going to have a loud megaphone. And I'm going to screech. When she screeches, I'm going to screech right back. Like, what's the point? You know, why would you even talk to somebody who screeches? Just screech right back at her. Anyways, Trump, at the first military order, resulted in the death of Awlaki's 7-year-old daughter. I didn't know that. Allah musta'an. I know that under Obama and Biden, over the 8 years, it resulted in Awlaki and his son being killed, which is sad. Yeah, I mean, you know, in any case, the foreign policies of countries are always going to be pretty nasty to Muslims and to other people that disagree with them, right? It's happened in Latin America or whatever, you know, in places like that, even in the Muslim world, and even in, you know, for example, I mean, you know, Cuba, Fidel Castro had over 100, he claimed more than 300, like, attempts on his life. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is not a strange thing for America to do these kinds of things, you know? Unfortunately, politics is a very dirty and nasty game. You know, in Arabic they say siyasa nijasa. It's a dirty thing, you know. But may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the innocents Jannah and make their, and give their families patience. Allahumma ameen. Especially in Yemen right now with the whole thing going on, the famine and the destruction, and it's a sad time. But may Allah make it easy for all of the people that are suffering. Allahumma ameen. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Muslims for anybody, Muslims for Trump, Muslims for Biden, Muslims for Obama, it's nonsense. These people don't care about religion, right? They don't care about religion. They don't care about you. They have an agenda. They have self-interest, right? It's all about the almighty dollar. Who pays you the most money? Are you going to be, how much are you going to pay me? I will be loyal to you as long as your dollars are coming in. That's the issue, right? So all this politics is nasty. It's all nonsense, right? But anyways, I think we covered everything. I don't want to be too redundant, guys. Plus, we got a stream coming up on Tuesday, so I don't want to make this one too long. Comment down below if you're watching later on. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about Hatun trash and Tommy's date being destroyed in the park by handcuffs on the wrist. I think that was kind of funny. Apparently, allegedly, there are claims that one of Tommy's female associates punched a police officer, and that's why the whole thing kicked off. Apparently, allegedly, he had a knife. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but comment down below if anybody in the UK has more information. Let me know. Let me know how you feel about it. Maybe we can, get to the bottom of all of this and find out what happens. We've got the election stuff coming on Tuesday. We'll be doing a live stream there. Remember, if you guys want to, become a Patreon member or a YouTube member here on this channel. And if not, at the very least, just like the video and share it or subscribe it. Share it or like it. You can give it a thumbs up because it helps the algorithm. So that's the least you can do for me if you appreciate the content. But anyways, yes, please do watch the video. You can start from the beginning. It should be up. It should be there. And I appreciate it. Infidels are cool. Absolutely, infidels are cool. And they're cooler when they know their place. They're cooler when they know their place and they don't get crazy. When they're not trying to kill me. They're cool. Anyways, but just as a quick reminder, there's also Muzzy merchandise you can check out in the links below. We got the new shirts out. I can't really show the whole design right now, but this is the tribe design. This is like an homage to Yemen with the, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that is the imama or the hamdani as they call it. And this is like the Yemeni, I call it the tribe version, but it's the design. So make sure you check it out. I will be coming out with a different clothing brand called Strong 313. It'll be a new, not this kind of stuff, a little bit different, but we'll be checking it out. Well, I tried. Eat as much bacon as you want. Just no pork on my fork. Fred, we really don't care about what you eat, bro. I mean, I don't know why you're making a big deal. You don't have to tell us your life story. We're not your psychiatrist, bro. I mean, hey, you want to eat bacon, do whatever with your family. Don't bother me, bro. I don't really mind. We're not here to be your... Yeah, Tommy is cool. I mean, I don't mind. I think Tommy is cool, too. I think he's cool because he makes a fool out of himself. I mean, who else would give us free entertainment, bro? I mean, the man ended up squealing like a pig. So I love it. I mean, tell him to go back in the park. Keep getting arrested. You know what I mean? What does it matter to us? Yeah, I can't stand up right now. Unfortunately, I'm wearing my boxers. You know what I mean? That's true. Whoever put that in there, it's Sunday. Give me a break. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, this has been enough of the show. Make sure you guys tune in. Tuesday will be the live stream on the Mad Mamluks for the special election episode. There's also Tuesday, I think the Mad Mamluks is going to be doing something with Dahlia Mogahead. Now, I'm not going to be on that show, but it'll probably be Maheen and Sim. For obvious reasons, I don't think I'll be on that show, but no problem. Nonetheless, check it out. It'll be a good show. I got another video coming out very soon about COVID-19. I kind of made the video, but I didn't want to release it too soon. It'll be coming out probably maybe tomorrow, Monday. I'll put it out. Maybe Wednesday I'll do it. And then we have on Thursday, Keeping It Casual with Sheikh Amir. Tune into that. And then, we'll catch you definitely on one of those live streams or episodes. All right. As a real quick reminder, this episode was brought to you in part by Arabic Grammar Unlocked. It's available on Amazon if you're struggling with the Arabic grammar and you want to get a good grasp on it, and you want to get a good understanding of Al-Ajrumiyya. Make sure you check it out in the description. The book is on Amazon. You can check it out as well. And it'll help you guys out if you guys are struggling with that. All right. It was a pleasure to have all of you guys here with me. All 58 of you that were here. We appreciate your support, and keep it moving, guys. Don't let these people, do dumb things that, make you reactionary. Just walk past it. Muslims need to not even worry about it. Like this idiot in the troll. He's trying to tell me about bacon, how he loves Tommy, how he loves... I care, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, go ahead. Anyways, just keep it moving, guys, all right? So until next time, let's talk about it. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.